Her own sister stole her real proposal story. Every single detail, word for word, and then had the absolute audacity to let someone read it as a tearful toast at the wedding. In front of everyone, including the groom, who was hearing it for what he thought was the first time. And I promise you, this story gets so much worse. Okay, so, two sisters. Never had an easy relationship. The older one? Golden child. The family favorite. The daughter their mom couldn't stop bragging about at every single family dinner for their entire lives. The younger one had basically made her peace with that. Years of therapy, of lowered expectations, of deciding not to let it rot her from the inside. She was done being bitter. She'd moved on. But here's the thing about people who steal your spotlight. They don't stop when you stop fighting back. They just get bolder. So last year, the younger sister gets engaged. And it's not some big flashy production. It's personal. Her boyfriend, now fiancé, pulls off something genuinely beautiful. Small restaurant. The exact place they had their very first date. The owner dims the lights on cue. Their song comes on. He gets down on one knee. She says yes through tears, and she's laughing and crying at the same time, and she describes it as the most perfectly imperfect moment of her entire life. And because she's happy, genuinely, overflowing, can't keep it in happy, she makes one mistake. She tells her sister everything. Every single detail. The restaurant name, the lighting, the song, the candles, the breadsticks on the table. All of it, because this was still her sister. You know? And when something that good happens to you, you want to share it. That's human. That's love. Even complicated love. Big mistake. Enormous. A couple months later, the older sister announces her engagement. And everyone's happy for her. Great. Wonderful. Love that for you. The younger sister smiles and means it. But then the story starts spreading. Friends of the family start mentioning the older sister's proposal. The one at the intimate little restaurant. With the dimmed lights. And the song. And the candles. And, I need you to hear this part clearly. The details were not similar. They were not inspired by. They were not reminiscent of. They were identical. Word for word. Beat for beat. The older sister had taken her little sister's real, lived, sacred proposal story and was just handing it out, like it was hers, to anyone who would listen. I'm sorry. What? So the younger sister does the reasonable thing. She pulls her sister aside. Private conversation. Gives her the chance to explain. Apologize. Something. And the older sister. Hold on. I need you to be sitting down for this. Doesn't deny it. Doesn't apologize. She laughs. She calls her sister dramatic. And then, and I want you to really let this land. She actually says, with a straight face, that her sister should be flattered the story was worth stealing. Okay, so the younger sister goes to her mom. Surely mom will see how messed up this is. Right? Right? Nope. Mom says to drop it. Big wedding coming up. Nothing should complicate it. Dad stays out of it entirely. Classic move. Even her fiancé, who is furious on her behalf, eventually says maybe just let it go and move on. So she does. She lets it go. She accepts the bridesmaid role. She smiles at the engagement party. She addresses envelopes. She shows up to every event. Dressed up, playing the part of the supportive little sister. Holding this thing inside her chest like a stone. And you'd think that would be enough. Right? Like okay. She swallowed it. It's over. Everyone moves on. The wedding day arrives. It's beautiful. Genuinely beautiful. And everything stays fine. Right up until the maid of honor stands up to give her toast. Now here's the thing. The maid of honor is a close friend of the older sister. She clearly has zero idea she's been handed a completely fabricated story. She stands up in front of this whole room full of family and friends and she tells them about the proposal, the intimate restaurant, the dimmed lights, the song, the breadsticks, the whole thing, delivered with warmth, with conviction, with emotion. People are dabbing their eyes. People are sighing. And the maid of honor believes every single word she's saying. That somehow made it worse. Because she's not the villain here. She's just a person who got used as a weapon without knowing it. The younger sister is sitting at the bridal table. She looks over at her fiancé. He looks back at her. And something shifts in her chest. Not rage. Not even really anger. She describes it as a quiet, cold clarity. She picks up her glass. It's her turn. Bridesmaid toast. She stands up. She smiles. She frames it as a coincidence. She tells the room, warm voice, steady smile, not a single waver, that she just has to share something that's always struck her as charmingly funny. That when her own fiancé proposed to her the previous year, at a little restaurant, where they'd had their first date, with the lights dimmed low, and their song playing, she pauses. She says she had no idea she was somehow previewing her sister's proposal story. Down to every last detail. Right down to the breadbasket on the table. Then she raises her glass. The room goes completely, utterly, silent. You could hear a champagne flute breathe. The groom's face shifts. You can see the exact moment the math stops adding up for him. His own wife's proposal story. And it's the same as her sister's? From a year earlier? The mother of the bride looks like she wants to dissolve directly through the floor. And the older sister's face. Oh, the older sister's face. Cycles through what looks like 5 or 6 different emotions in about 4 seconds before it lands on something hard and completely unreadable. The reception continues. People dance. People drink. The evening goes on, but the atmosphere never comes back. Something got released into that room that couldn't be put back in the bottle. And by the end of the night, the older sister has not said one single word to her. The fallout? Oh, it came fast. A few days later, a furious message from mom, calling the younger sister a jealous saboteur who deliberately ruined the most important day of her daughter's life. The older sister starts spinning her own version to the extended family. That her little sister had some kind of emotional breakdown at the wedding. Driven by bitterness over not being married yet, the mother blocks her younger daughter entirely. The extended family splits down the middle, and the younger sister is sitting in the wreckage of it all, trying to figure out what just happened to her family. But here's the part that got to me. She says she doesn't feel guilty. Not really. What she feels is relief. Deep, bone-level relief. And then she feels guilty about the lack of guilt, which is its own special kind of spiral. Honestly. Because she knows. She knew going in that a wedding is considered sacred territory. That choosing someone's wedding day as the moment to draw a line is the kind of thing that echoes. For years. She wasn't unaware of that. She crossed it anyway. And also, her sister stole something intimate and irreplaceable from her. Laughed in her face when confronted. Let a room full of people cry over a fiction for months. Showed zero remorse at any point. The toast wasn't the beginning of the story. It was just the last page of a chapter her sister had been writing without her permission. Her fiancé thinks she was justified but wishes she'd found another way. Her closest friend thinks she did exactly the right thing. Her mom has her blocked. And she's still figuring out how to move forward from a fracture this deep. So I need to know what you think. Was she wrong for exposing the truth at her sister's wedding? Or did her sister leave her absolutely no other choice? Drop your verdict in the comments right now because I genuinely cannot decide and I need the jury to weigh in. Next up, a story that made our entire team speechless. We sat there in silence for a full minute after reading it. You do not want to miss it. Subscribe so you never miss a single drop of drama. Stories shared on this channel are inspired by real experiences posted online. All details have been anonymized and rewritten. Any resemblance to specific individuals is coincidental.